All right, good morning, everybody. Friday morning. As you can see, we are not in the truck. We are in our backyard. I am off today. A little bit of a somber day today because I have to go to a funeral. Family member had passed away last Friday. So today is the memorial and funeral service, so I'm going down to that, so I had the day off. But I figured since I didn't do a Thursday video, and I'll talk to you about that, figure I'd bring the cameras out and do a video today, not of the funeral service, of course, but the ride down there, and maybe afterwards we'll take a ride over to Bethlehem, where I was born and raised, and show you like my old houses or something like that. I don't know, but I wish I would have brought the cameras out yesterday because we had some interesting delivery points, and I was ready to take them with me and then decided not to because it was raining and cold and miserable, and I just kind of nixed the idea, but I wish I hadn't. But anyway, we'll continue the video once I get in the Jeep and roll southbound. All right, so we're on the move, but we gotta stop down here and get gas. I'm gonna stop at the station that we used to fuel the trucks up at. I used to see these people in here every single day, and I haven't been down here much at all because the company I work for now doesn't send me this direction too often. So we're gonna get gas here so I can stop in and say hi to everybody and maybe use the restroom before I finish the journey down to the Lehigh Valley. But boy, wintertime is so different driving southbound. You see how low that sun is. I mean, it is 8:30 only, so it's still early morning, but that sun is so low that it affects the camera. Thankfully, it doesn't blow everything out, but you can see how low it is this time of year, mid-November. The wintertime sun's equal to what we would get in mid-February, so... But like I said, we're gonna stop down here and top off the gas tank and go in and say hi to people I haven't seen for a while before we head on down. Well, now I'm gonna be early. I figured I would come down here, stop and say hi to the ladies at the Easy Mart, get my gas, and then I figured I'd swing up here to the well, and if anybody was up here, I'd say hello to them, because I haven't seen them for a while either. But nobody was there, so...
Quarter mile, turn right onto Pennsylvania 309 South.
Now we're just gonna roll on down to Allentown. Afterwards, I may stop by the shop and see the mechanics and stuff, since I had this free-ish day.
At the stop sign, turn right onto Pennsylvania 309 South.
This will be a lot easier to get out without a big heavy truck. Sightline's still as lousy as it is, but at least I can get going quickly and not take up all the lanes.
Continue on Pennsylvania 309 South for 10 miles.
But as you've seen before, I'm climbing the blue. Just that we're looking into the sun now. And we ain't crawling up at it 30 miles an hour. But anyway, now I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna have to do for an hour, because the service, the viewing doesn't start until 10 o'clock. Now I ended up being early, but that's the story of my life. I was raised to be early. My grandfather taught me when I was a young lad that if you were early, you were on time. If you were on time, you were late. And I live by that. And of course, trucking lives by that. So I am early for any appointment that I have. My wife, on the other hand, she can be fashionably late. So, but anyway, not a good look driving right into the sun. So we'll talk to you later. So I stopped at Burger King and got myself a breakfast sandwich and an orange juice, and I'm still early. It has me getting there at 9:53. The viewing and calling hours part of the service doesn't start till 10 o'clock. So I'm still kind of early, even after stopping for a quick breakfast. So anyway, not exactly looking forward to this. I love seeing my family, but I would love to see them under better circumstances. Last time I saw the gentleman, my cousin's husband, was at a wedding this past summer. So much different circumstance this time, not one I prefer, but it is a part of life that we all have to deal with from time to time. I know I lost my mom, my dad, and my brother, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that I came down here to represent what's left of my birth family. I'm the only one left, so pay my respects, of course, to my family and represent. So in a few minutes we'll leave, so we're not super early. I don't want to be the first one walking in there, but anyway, like I said, I'm not going to film anything in there for obvious reasons. That's distasteful, but we're going to go over there and pay our respects to service, and then I don't know what we're going to do after that. Like I said, maybe I'll take a ride over to Bethlehem, maybe show you the houses that I grew up in or whatever, or some of the neighborhoods I hung out in. But anyway, we're going to get rolling here in a few minutes. All right, well, this isn't the way we used to come out with the water trucks. We're going in the way we used to come out through this industrial park. This is the way we're going to get over to where we need to go. I don't know if I've ever run this road this direction, but it's the way to get from that Burger King over to where we need to be. Still some fall color down here, I see. A little more than we have up in our...
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Olin Way.
A little more than what we have our way, but we're 30 miles further south, and it's a warmer climate down here, so the trees are holding on to their leaves just a little bit longer than up our way.
Stop sign, turn right onto Olin Way, then turn left onto Shantz Road.
That was one of our trucks pulling the van. Well, for the old company, that when I hauled water, we used to do the vans.
Turn left onto Shantz Road.
That dude had the van today. Now, let's see how difficult it's going to be to get out of here. It looks like we might be all right. One car coming yet. Okay, there we go. Now, 11'6", 1,000 feet ahead.
For 2 miles.
That's sign number 1. This is why we never could go in or out this way, because we were too high. So that's sign number 1. Here comes sign number 2 with a couple of things above the road to whack if you're over height. 11'6", 500 feet. And yet, every now and again, somebody tries to go under this railroad overpass. I don't understand it, how people think that they can fit pulling a 13.6 trailer, but they think they can fit. That's why those things are hanging over the road. You're supposed to catch your attention. You're supposed to whack those things, probably make a good racket when it hits a trailer. And theoretically, you would stop before you get to the overpass, but yet, probably 3-4 times in the last few years, somebody's tried to go under that overpass with a 13.6 trailer. I don't know, unless they're foreign and they're thinking metric and they think it's meters and they can do it. I don't know, but anybody who's been driving more than about 3 months should understand that 13.6 won't fit under 11 foot overpass. What are we? A little over a mile from where we need to be, but there's a nice road back here and some nice houses back here. Never been back here before. Some beautiful neighborhoods down here in the Lehigh Valley. Sit on half-acre lots, three-quarter-acre lots. They got property all around them, and it's a nice place to live. Place has a semicircular driveway. They can just drive in and out. I can certainly live down here in a neighborhood like this. Maybe not on the main road, maybe off the main road, but I can live down here in a nice area. Probably very quiet, peaceful.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Crocs Road.
Seem to be hitting every manhole cover though. Boom, 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 and another one.
Take the next right onto Crocs Road.
This one here. Yep, this one here. Ooh, some nice color on these maples here yet.
Continue on Crocs Road for half a mile.
Yeah, you can't see them that good though because the sun's right in our face. Well, this is going to be a long segment. I see I'm at about 6 minutes already. But it's a nice area to drive through. It would be better if we were going northbound, though.
Your destination will be on the right.
So the sun really changes the way videos are shot. The lighting is bad. Oh, I see a lot of cars here already, unless there's more than one funeral today. I guess it's my turn. I don't know. Four-way stops can get confusing at times. But here we are, and I see somebody's going to tell me where to park. Okay, so what he wanted to know was whether I was going to the cemetery for the burial, which I'm not. So I'm just going to be here for the viewing and the service. So he parked me. I guess if you're going to go to the cemetery, they park you in a certain line so that you can fall into place and travel. But we're not going there, so he parked us off on this side. So anyway, we're going to go in. All right, so the service is done, and we're on our way home, but we stopped here at Yakko's Hot Dogs. I need to take a break for a minute, and then we're going to head the rest of the way up. Probably going to stop at the old employer, say hi to the mechanics and anybody else who might be lurking around. But it was a nice service for a nice guy. Like I said, it was my cousin's husband, and it's a shame, but it is part of life. I don't know how else to word it. Death is never pleasant. Death is never fun. It's tough on those who are left behind, but it is a part of life that we all have to deal with. So, but went down there to pay my respects for me and my late mother and father and brother and my wife. So that's done. We're gonna head on north. Probably stop at the old employer, say hi to whoever's around, the mechanics for sure, and maybe a couple drivers. But anyway, that being said, we're going to finish what we're doing here, and then we'll be on our way. Well, I had planned on turning the camera on a little bit later on up the road. However, something caught my eye here. There's a guy in front of me in this red Ford. I don't know if that's his personal vehicle or if that is an official vehicle, but he is a cop, and he is texting while he's driving. He passed me back there where the two lanes come into one, and I looked over, and he's got his phone in his hand, and he's texting while he's driving, and he's in uniform because he's got a police patch on his shoulder. So I guess rules for thee but not for me apply here. That if he would have seen me texting, he'd probably pull me over and cite me, but here he is driving up the road texting on his phone. So go figure. So somewhere along here is where I had planned on turning this camera on and ask if y'all remember all the times I showed you running up this road, because we're retracing our water hauling steps on Route 100 here. Last time I was on the road with the camera, everything was still summer green. As you can see now, it's pretty much going winter bare. Once you get north of Tillman Street, the climate kind of changes. And for all the trees that still had leaves down there on the other side of Tillman Street, and 22 in particular, up this way you can see it's more in tune with what it's like up in Tamaqua, Hazleton, and beyond, where most of the trees don't have leaves on them anymore. I don't know if it's a temperature thing because it's open country out here, or just the fact that the elevation climbs. I never realized how high this particular area that we're driving in right now sits until one time last winter, when the roads were wet down in Fogelsville and the roads were wet up here in Nutripoli. But when I got on top of this hill here, by this brown building, the ground was all white. So there's a bit of an elevation climb here that I wasn't quite aware of. I mean, obviously you go uphill, but I didn't think it was enough to go from a rain to snow event, or a bare ground to white ground event, but just enough elevation. So that could be why it looks a little more wintry-ish up here than it does down there on the valley floor. But, always like running this road. I think it's a pretty road. Sometimes the traffic can be a bear depending on what time of day you're running, because there's nowhere to pass. You get behind a slow truck, there is nowhere to pass from Fogelsville all the way up to the Blue Mountains, so you're stuck behind whatever is going slow. And one day I got behind a farm tractor coming up through here, and dude never ever once slid off to the right to let some of the traffic pass. So he did 20 miles an hour all the way from Weiss Markets down there up here to 309. It was a bit of a frustrating ride, especially being empty where I could roll. But anyway, it turned out to be a nice day today, all things considered. A bit of a solemn day, but most of the week was cloudy and windy and cold and snow showers and rain showers. But today's a beautiful day, 51 degrees, about where it should be for November. So it really is a nice day. And going this way, we have the sun at our back, so everything is lit up nicely to give you a nice moving image, I guess you could say. But I've always liked this ride. I thought Route 100 was kind of a nice road to travel on. Woods and farmland and enough hills and curves to make it interesting. Actually, the whole ride down to the Lehigh Valley isn't bad. Once you get out of Schuylkill County, it's not especially nice in Schuylkill County, but once you get over to Blue Mountain, down into Nutripoli, it's kind of pretty, and of course down this way. And as you know, my videos are predominantly, I love showing the scenery. As much as I talk about different things that go on during my day, and I should do more of it, the scenery is the number one reason why I like doing these videos. Love landscapes, love geography, and so to me scenery is just really cool. And then when you get a cool looking sky like we've got today, it makes it even better. Well, the beautiful sunny skies we had a little bit earlier are giving way to overcast. The sun's trying to peek through some gaps, but otherwise overcast cloud deck is moving in. I guess we're supposed to get rain over the weekend again. At least this time it won't be snow like earlier in the week. And I'm not ready for snow yet. actually don't want it to snow at all, but I live in Pennsylvania, so it's going to snow here and there, and I don't know, this winter may be a bad one from what some people are saying. But at any rate, yeah, the weekend is not supposed to be one of the nicest weekends that we've ever had, so, but, anyway, had a nice visit, talked with the mechanics, went inside, talked to the dispatcher for a little bit, and now we're heading home. Somebody picked off a duck. It looked like a duck laying in the road there, but yeah, you can see a heavier gray overcast off to the west there, so whatever's moving in, I guess, is going to be moving in pretty quick. Again, like I said, we're up here on the northern side of the Blue Mountain, and there aren't any leaves on the trees. This is dead winter dead here. Haven't had really a hard freeze yet, so the grass is kind of green, but the trees are all bare. So it has that winter look, which is depressing. I am straight up a summer person, as you all know. I've mentioned it time and time again, that I just love my summer weather, my warm temperatures, long daylight hours, and all that kind of stuff. Nothing good comes out of winter for me. I don't ski, I don't play hockey, I don't ice skate, I don't snowmobile. So winter has no charming effect as far as I'm concerned. But at any rate, we're heading home now. We'll go home and do a little bit of house cleaning before the wife comes home, and then we'll go out to our Friday dinner as we always do. And maybe I'll try to bring the camera out. I don't know. She's not big on being on camera and then being on YouTube, so I don't know if I will try to convince her to make a cameo appearance or not. But at any rate, we are heading home from a somber-ish day. Wasn't, like I said, funerals are never fun events, but you gotta pay your respects to family. So, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's not that I feel like it's an obligation. It's something I wanted to do, obviously, but it's the proper thing to do. But anyway, maybe we'll talk to you once we get back to the house. But they're coming back out here to 309. Gonna head back north up to Tamaqua and do whatever it is we need to do.